All right, good morning, guys. Back at it with another MLB DFS slate. Brutal yesterday. I don't even know what to say at this point. It reminds me of the last losing streak we had where we just couldn't pick a pitcher or our pitcher would be serviceable and then our bats just played like little leaguers. Give me your thoughts because I'm just like I'm out of it.
The thing is like I don't even think we're landing on some bad spots. It's just the winning lineups, like the whole last week, have just been one-offs. Like if you go look at the top of the $7 yesterday, it's like a couple two-mans and then just random ass picks. And I mean that's the same way for like any of the top five scores. The top score on the slate was Miller at 46, and then you have Neto in the nine hole with 40. Stroman went 8 innings, only had 3 Ks, typical Stroman fashion. Um, Kiner Falefa had 35 in the eight hole. Just like random scores. I think once the weather starts heating up and the ballparks become more hitter friendly, the full stacks will become more efficient because right now it's just kind of leaving some zeros in the lineup. With like yesterday with Clinic, he went 0 for 4. We played chalk one off Tatis 0 for 4. Switched to some Boston bats for Devers 1 for 4. It's just so classic.
Yeah, Tatis didn't shoot up before the game, so that screwed us over. The White Sox had him, and then they traded him. We got some pitcher that was amazing at the time, and he joined the White Sox, and he was dog shit after that. I still think we won the trade though because the whole steroid thing with Tatis and all that, but who knows? That's definitely going to backfire on me today. Let's get into pitching because it's absolutely terrible. Logan Gilbert, Giolito, Nola, Clark Schmidt. It's a coin flip between Gilbert and Giolito. And as you see here, 42% Logan Gilbert, 21% Giolito. All right, ready to move on to stacks.
I mean, it's just so yuck. I mean, Gilbert, do I really want to play 10-6 for this guy? His ceiling is like 48. I mean, I guess he's fine. He's playing Oakland. That's all you gotta say. That's why he's gonna be 50% owned. He's playing Oakland at home. Whatever. Sure, I get it. But and then do I want to play 10K for Giolito, who's just 8K last week? Not really. Um,
All
he's
right,
playing
time to defend
Detroit,
my boy here. Yeah, exactly.
which is why he's serviceable. I mean, Nola's the best talent, but he's playing the Braves. That doesn't feel good. He finally looked like he got something back in the last game against the Cubs, went 10 and 10 strikeouts. I mean, he went 7 and 10 strikeouts. But he's been shaky all year, too. Look, just like Sandy yesterday. Same type of talent, just hasn't looked the same. Kyle Gibson, no thanks. Sears, definitely not. Schmidt, no. Don't know much about this Dodd kid, but I think I'd rather just no. Carrasco, definitely not. And that's just basically it. You got to play Gilbert, Giolito, or Nola, and you're just going to land on Gilbert 99% of the time because they're within the same price range, and he's playing Oakland. Now, for tournaments, and you're just going to have to fade him. But I mean, he's a cash game lock.
Hasn't Schmidt like screwed us over in the past where we just completely shit on him and he comes out and drops 43 or 41?
Yeah, he dropped. Yeah, he was chalk. He was chalk against Oakland, and he dropped 43. I wasn't gonna play him.
He dropped 33 on your Reds.
I mean,
I don't even
that's
think that was the main
typical.
slate. he's an in Schmidt is interesting, but definitely don't. If there were more games today, probably you can get a little different, but I don't know. I'm trying to like make sure he doesn't have a good game today where we play somebody else and he goes off for 60. But yeah, Gilbert gotta be a cash game play. Giolito looks like the top guy right now. Nola against Atlanta, no thanks. Everyone else is kind of crap.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's Gilbert by a mile. Probably projects for like 36, 37 fantasy points, and then Giolito maybe like low 30s, and then Nola slowly right behind that, and then Schmidt, I guess.
If you had to give a fourth. There.
Also, Kyle Hendricks coming back. I don't know how far he can go, but he's cheap,
That,
7,200.
that might be interesting, especially with the Mets not being good.
It's true.
On to stacks. This is absolutely disgusting. Again, kind of. San Francisco, Philly, New York, Seattle, Atlanta. What are we thinking? And yeah, we also don't know who's starting for Milwaukee just yet.
Um, it is kind of gross, like you said, but it's also kind of interestingly gross because you can play almost every team today except for Oakland. I mean, I guess you could play like a mini against Oakland if you want to gain leverage on Gilbert, but you're not full stacking the A's today. Everyone else is kind of in play. Um, the top stack score at 12% between a couple teams, the Giants, Philly, and Yankees, which I don't know how they can make a top stack score without the pitcher. I don't know how that works, but
I don't get it.
they're probably fine. And Philly against Dodd, probably good hitting weather in Atlanta today. The Yankees against Kyle Gibson, that makes decent sense there. You got Seattle again against Sears. You could just game stack the Philly Braves game. Kind of looks interesting. They both have nice totals around 4.8 to 5 on Ballpark Pal and Vegas. So I like those teams. Um, Baltimore against Schmidt, I guess. They just seem to never really dud. So maybe a couple pieces. Mullins. I think Frazier hit one out yesterday. Yeah, he did. He's kind of hot right now. Second base, it's a pretty nice spot to fill. Detroit, nice leverage score here, but again, we think Giolito is probably the way to go at pitcher. To be honest, if you're getting off Gilbert and Justin's just a homer, but other than that, you can pretty much play any team today except maybe Oakland and the White Sox.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's never really slates like this. You know what I mean? You're always kind of, oh yeah, here are like the four stacks to consider. Pitching in general is just so bad that it's kind of, you know, you should only really play Giolito, Gilbert, maybe if you want to be ballsy against Atlanta, play Nola. Pretty much all these stacks are in play. It's unreal. Like, what are the Giants doing with pitcher? It's like Scott Alexander is going to pitch one or two. Webb's going to come in, and then this Junis guy or something.
I think that's the plan. I read it. I think it's just to alleviate some back soreness for Webb, but I don't really get it. I think the Padres did it recently too.
So, I mean, Milwaukee, you know, if they don't have Webb out there, and let's just say Webb leaves a game with back soreness and this Junis guy comes in, or they bring a reliever, could help with Milwaukee because they're bullpen, I don't know about Dylan Dodd as much, really, too. So Philly looks like they're in a good spot. I would say San Fran, but there's also no pitcher listed. Seattle's in a great spot. I don't know why the White Sox are at the bottom, to be completely honest with you. This Fiedo guy, his highest scoring game was like 33, I think it is. And the White Sox have been hot recently. Like Kopech yesterday went insane. Um, I thought I saw something too about Luis Robert not in yesterday's lineup or something. Oh, says he fully expects to return to the lineup today. Yeah, we're doing a White Sox stack. I don't care what the hell you say. Fiedo, 11, 34, and 18. Those were his three starts. With the White Sox at a little win streak going right now, this might be an interesting spot to get very different. That's the way that I see it. Yankees, fine. Carrasco has been dog shit, so you can definitely get to some Cubs. Um, that's pretty much it. Baltimore, kind of like you said too, they never have terrible games. You can get to a couple guys there. It's pretty much it. You can just go with anybody today besides Oakland and you'll be fine.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Also, I don't think we tilted Senga enough yesterday, honestly.
Yeah, that motherfucker is banned. I don't care if he's playing Oakland. I don't. He plays like Cincy. I don't give a shit anymore. He played the Cubs yesterday.
Yeah, he just can't stop walking, guys. The control is crazy. I was watching the game, and some of his pitches were just out of control.
He's so banned, it's unbelievable. We need to make a banned list. Hold on.
It'd be pretty steep already, to be honest.
All right, give me a couple names. So
Um,
obviously saying
trying to think of pitchers. Uh, who's
Tyler Anderson.
Dylan Cease?
Fine.
It's either him or Lynn. Both have let us down a couple times.
No, definitely Dylan Cease. Because Lynn's actually been doing decent recently.
I feel like Julio Rodriguez has dropped 0 for us a couple times.
Trying to think of any other bats or pitchers. I mean Tyler Anderson, but I think we
We're
kind of
just not
know
playing him
now.
anymore. Maybe Javi Baez.
I love that pick. We can leave it at 4 for now. So our band list, we're getting this shit started because this is unbelievable. Senga sees Julio Rodriguez and Javier Baez. All right. I'm done being tilted about our losses. Home runs or generator?
We can do home runs first.
All right. Run it.
So first guy I got lined up is Teoscar Hernandez. I think he goes back to back after yesterday's dong. Gonna go Matt Olson off Nola and Gunnar Henderson from the O's.
I'm gonna go back to the well with Jorge Soler, who's 2 straight games, and I definitely just jinxed him. I'm gonna go Julio Rodriguez, and then I'm gonna go Chris Bryant, just because of the cores factor. All right. So day 9, I think. Ooh. MLB DFS lineup generator. Fanduel.
I guess we just should just go with the minis because that's what's been winning. You could do balanced. I mean, I guess
It,
we just pick Gilbert. So boring. The chalk is going to be massive. So it's a Philly, Giants, Milwaukee, 2 minis. Okay.
this is pretty optimal. It's actually not as chalky. That's actually not bad.
I think even with the ownership on Gilbert, you're gonna be different regardless because there's no stacks getting over like 20% collectively.
Mhm.
40% for Trey Turner is actually outlandish. I mean, that's kind of crazy. But he is 2,800. He's usually like a 35 kind of guy. I know he's been in a slump, but I mean, if he's gonna be 40%, there's a fade right there if you need for ownership purposes.
Exactly. And this is good too. If you like don't want to play a lineup, you can just kind of look at pieces, kind of like what Funk just did. Oh, you can fade Trey Turner at 37%. Then that gets the mind going of who to actually play at whatever. Projected for 123. So yeah, we'll throw this in the lineup today. Hopefully, this actually does some damage. I think the last two, not yesterday. A couple other ones have at least min cash, so that's good. Um, one more thing. So if you guys follow the Twitter, you've been noticing that we've been posting some prize picks plays. So this is just a sneak peek of Pick'em Pro. So I have this labeled as a win percentage. So Max Domi over 1.5. I've been playing this a little bit recently, and it's been hitting. So one thing you kind of notice when you use this tool a lot is a lot of the bets, like this Jimmy Butler assists, it was at 5.5 in the last 2 games, 3 games, pretty much when the series started, and now got bumped up to half to 6. So I mean, you kind of just scroll through, see what you like, and have it labeled by top win percentage. Just build. Tatum with the rebounds, that's one that's always screwed me over, so I don't really like that. But this is a great tool to use for prize picks. They have MLB as well here. Underdog, no house advantage. They have all this. So definitely very worth it. But highly recommend getting this and not kind of just if you don't follow the plays we post, just for your sake as well. Definitely worth it. Um, anything else? I mean, this is just a boring ass slate, but
No, that wraps it up. To be honest, nothing really to cover. Make sure to check out the lineup about 10 minutes before lock. We'll drop it. Feel free to tail if you would like or fade. Um, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and check out Stochastics tools in the description.